Anyway, Bogdan says, since WrestleMania 37, we've seen that show in a 2-night format. And recently they got SummerSlam to be 2 nights also. Personally, I got the point from a business standpoint of view, but when it comes to the presence of the show, I feel like making SummerSlam last 2 nights wasn't that great of a decision. What do you think about SummerSlam going 2 nights?
Well, they're already set up. Everybody's already there. So running the second night, I think most of their expenses were picked up the first night. And they're already there, so let's run another night. I think that's a pretty good business decision, to tell you the truth.
Do you know what it is about the pay-per-views, right? So, for the most part, Backlash actually ran less than 3 hours, which was incredible. But a lot of the WWE pay-per-views are like 3.5 to 4, something like that, or they have been the last year. I was thinking, because the TV shows are, including the adverts, 3 hours.
Yep.
Like, what makes the pay-per-view so much more special when they last the same amount of time? And therefore, they're having to make these 2-night things or make them 4.5 hours or whatever. It's a lot of content piling on top of each other. Are you going to watch SummerSlam?
Well, they can shorten it or lengthen it. I would think doing something on that pay-per-view that has nothing to do with that pay-per-view. Almost coming up in the future, next week on Raw or next week on SmackDown, you're going to have this and run your, on-screen advertisement like that. Advertise before it gets there, so they actually know what you're coming out with. Because I think that can only help them.
Do you think they're eventually going to do this for all the pay-per-views, or at least like all the major ones?
What's that?
Make them all 2 nights.
I don't think they'll make them all 2 nights. But I think the WrestleMania and the SummerSlams, and they'll break it in incrementally because they've never done that before. And they're not doing SummerSlam because it didn't work the first night around with WrestleMania last year. They're doing it because it did work. So anything you read, they may not do this. Well, you just said they're not going to do it. Now they're doing it. So the numbers have to be there for them to do it, because now you know that they're doing it for a reason. And guess what WWE is? It's a business. God, I never would have figured that, but it is a business to make money. And TKO, they've been in the business a long time, and they can read those cues better than any businessman. And so I think they're going to have a record year this year. And they're using WWE to really push their MMA pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. Did you look at how many MMA guys they had on the last pay-per-view with WWF?
No, I didn't. WWE. But there's definitely been some more crossover here, there, and everywhere. But there's a lot of WWE guys going to UFC pay-per-views, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, they're using each other. Do you watch the WWE? I know you watch those. You watch the MMA pay-per-views?
I used to, but they do such a bad job of making stars these days that I just can't keep up with them anymore.
But guess what? They're with the people now that make stars. So you might, till the guy loses. Ronda Rousey, they had her set up to be a megastar. And tap, tap. She's knocked out. Tap, tap. And she's knocked out. And guess where her megastardom went? There's no room for error in the MMA world. Mm-hmm. So she went out there and got knocked out. And that was the end of her.